are going to be playing some more 10-minute games as I attempt to make this cropped better. Unfortunately, it's not working at the moment. I am not... Why is this not working? Okay, anyways, well, we have a 2200, so we have a serious man on the other side. Manrique. Actually, that's QUE, so that'd be I mean Brazilian. They usually speak Portuguese there. Not sure how masculine feminine works in that language, as you've seen in one of my past videos of where I had to say that I don't speak Portuguese to somebody. Why is this not working? Why am I not able to? I'm not able to. I'm not able to crop it. I'm trying to crop the thing, but it's not working. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Stop. Let me crop. Let me crop. I hate this. Okay, anyway, so this is the Baltic defense. I don't know too much about it. All I know is that once this bishop moves extremely early, c4, and trying to get them to take you, maybe fianchettoing your light squared bishop is a good idea. Sorry for not being super engaged in the first part. I'm trying to crop this thing, but it's like not letting me. It's so... Oh, no, there we go. Okay, we are... Okay, now it was letting me... Now it's letting me crop this thing. Okay, so he's going back to take this thing out of e4. I'm gonna go there anyways. He's probably gonna put his bishop here, I guess. I wouldn't have done this. I would have just allowed e4 to come with tempo and then gone back. Or maybe even back this way. Don't think I would go there. But, whatever. I do, however, have massive control of the center. And if my opponent is not careful, stuff like that will happen. Now I am down a pawn, and if only I could crop this a little bit more, perhaps? Okay, okay, this is getting annoying. Alright, I can go here. A5. I'm not gonna do that, though. Actually, I will do that. Okay, I was just kidding. It won't let me... Oh, wait. Hold up. Hold up. We're getting somewhere. we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Stop! Why? Why is it doing this? Why is it... Okay, guys, feel free to laugh at me, because I clearly have no idea how to crop a video. So, anyways, his pawn structure is horrendous currently with this thing. It's not going anywhere, that's why I didn't take it. This pawn was the thing that was under question. Yeah, we have kind of a dream position currently. Could even go e5. There's no need to do that currently, though. However, it's stuff like bishop takes f7 is very, very tempting. I won't lie. It is very tempting to do that. Another thing that's very tempting is like 95. Honestly, we could go here. I kind of want to go here and then e6. Okay, that's our plan. Here and e6. That is going to be our idea. And if the bishop takes, obviously, we will take back. And then we have a nice little outpost for our knight here, along with a potential knight trade being met with a queen pin. Queen pin. King pin, queen pin. That's fun. I cropped this horribly. I am very ashamed. Okay. Um, was not expecting that. Um, he doesn't want me to play here, but unfortunately I will be able to do that anyways. Because I'm gonna go here and sack a second pawn. I'm down on time because I was struggling to crop the video. Again, I'm still not even happy with it. I want this to be in the. Okay, I'm just doing a horrible job at cropping. Okay, so I personally don't agree with that move. I think it allows me to make. I think it allows my job to be much easier. This is checkmate, by the way. King has no escape. Sacking a pawn on e6 and forcing double pawns is a very good idea, and you'll usually see this in like an advanced Caro-Kann tall variation with h4 after bishop f5. Wow, egotistical much. Um, so this guy clearly has no faith in me, so I'm going to go here. And what this does is it threatens check, king here, fork. And the fork will come with me taking the rook with a discovered attack. So, and then I will come back, and then I will discover check him, and then win the queen. So, here, boop. And then if he goes, okay, so yeah, he obviously doesn't blunder that. What a surprise! The 2200 doesn't just hang that. However, okay, and just a quick look, by the way, he is attacking this and this. This not really, because he is just going to get slaughtered and potentially a queen trap after something like this, because my rook is defended twice by different pieces. Therefore, we will go here and win his rook. Or castle, maybe, potentially. Potentially. I want to say I kind of want to keep up the pressure a little bit more than I am, but eh. Okay, so yeah, we okay, and the knight's under attack as well. Not to mention this bishop might end up being trapped, because another advantage of having a pawn on e6 as white, if you have a black pawn on e6, is that they can't move the e pawn to get their bishop out. And okay, hold up. I need to play this accurately. Should I bring my queen back? I feel like I should. Or castling, but rook c1 I feel suffices just fine. Yeah, rook c1 I feel suffices just fine. If this, I might even go here, threatening stuff like that. I wouldn't take with the queen, obviously. Now, one thing to note in these imbalances is that he has a lot of pawns for my piece, which is unfortunate, but I mean, that's life. What can you do? That's free, but then that's free, but then going here and that's free. I might get my queen trap though. And actually, I'm just gonna castle. Go ahead, take it. As you can see, the bishop and the rook line up here. I just noticed that that might be a little bit better. And this knight is also hanging, so I have material to gain no matter what. I'm already up a full rook. Well, for a few pawns, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, it is somewhere, that's for sure. But that's not important to me currently, because this and this will be very tragic for our opponent. Because the king can't move into a spot where there is no discovered check, which is sad. Yeah, so this is game over. I would appreciate if my actually no, I don't want him to resign. How about that? I don't want you to resign. I don't want you to resign. And you can even remove this if you'd like, but you don't. You obviously don't. You know, you don't have to. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to this is double check, and I'm going to reroute my knight into a square where it would be checkmate, and I would force him to give it his queen. And yeah, that's a free queen. And the knight's still handing, and this knight is handing. And this knight is handing. Just a massacre here. And if he offers a rematch, I will accept. Yeah, because this game did not go too well for this for this individual. Um, okay, so here it doesn't really matter what you do, just as long as you have threats. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sack. Actually, I don't need to really do that. His pieces kind of suck, so I'm gonna go all the way back. You know, you're up 9 points of material. You can sack, but you also don't have to. And it's also okay to change your mind. It's also okay to change your mind if you didn't want to do something. This is a fork of the knight and the king, and the reason I say fork is because I'm on 9 points of material and I obviously want to trade. Alright, this is definitely game over. This is resignable. I didn't want him to resign before because there were still things that I wanted to show. And we will give this check. Mostly because the king is either going to have to go in the back rank or the bishop is going to have to block. The bishop does block. And let's pick up a pawn. Why not? Just take more stuff. Taking stuff is fun. Taking stuff is amazing. Now he does have a bishop pair. I mean, he's not gonna have a bishop pair for much longer. Uh, you can take that honestly, and I will, because then I can pick up more things with check, and I will also be defending more things, and I will also bring my queen on a dark square where it helps my bishop checkmate the king. It is. Oh wow, that is bold. A bold individual. A bold individual. This threatens a fork. That's bane and bane. Not to mention, this bishop is still trapped. I cover every square. Oh wow, and he still tries to make me fall for it. So yeah, you can take the bishop, or you can fork the king and the rook. This bishop has been useless the entire game, literally. It has never been able to move. And I will just take the rook. Take the rock. And if he's not going to resign, we will do a reset checkmate. Does not appear as he is going to resign. Does not seem like he will. That's fine. That's fine if you don't want to resign. Be my guest, but I will reset checkmate you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 pieces. Need 2 knights, bishop, and a rook. Can I keep all my pieces on the board? That is the question. Can I keep all my pieces on the board? That is the real test of skill here. Keeping every single piece on the board and not allowing a single trade. And if I don't want to allow a single trade, I want to get this pawn on a light square as soon as possible. Now, he clearly does not know what I'm going for. If he did, that would be insane. That would be the sole read of a lifetime, but we are going to try to do the reset checkmate. It is where you checkmate someone and all your pieces are on the back. Ah, he's stopping me. What a rude individual. What a Rudy Patootie. Absolute rude individual. Okay, check and fork. I hope I can take one of... I'm hoping I can get one of these pieces gone with check. Its chances of that are looking very low. Whatever. Don't take. Yes. 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 I knew it. I knew he wouldn't do it. I knew it. I knew he didn't want to do it. Now it's important not to stalemate here, and so if you don't want to stalemate, I would move all of your major pieces above. And I would also try to win this last pawn so that he can't use that as a stalemate shield. That's stalemate, believe it or not. But this is not, because I disconnected my queen. Now I am playing with fire here. Don't get me wrong, I realize that, but you have to play with fire to make a sandwich. I'm referring to a grilled cheese sandwich. In case you don't know, I was referring to a grilled cheese sandwich. That was my first thought. I said I was trying to make that sound a lot cooler than it did sound, but okay, we're gonna put the bishop over here so that we can go here and then here. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. This is funny. Actually, I want him to go the other way. I want him to stay in those two squares. Well, these now. Now, I don't want me to lose on time, and I don't want him to lose on time. I want to keep as much time on the board as possible. Now, I'm only doing this because he's not resigning. I mean, you should definitely resign this. I mean, he's hoping I stalemate him. I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. We're just gonna make a rook, and then we're gonna make our two knights. I don't want to pre-move. I'm gonna let him pre-move. Pre-move, bro. Pre-move a little faster than that, would you? Try not to interfere with his king. And this is just the reset checkmate. You can follow along the moves. It doesn't matter what your opponent does. It will always be checkmate. Doesn't matter what your opponent does. It will always be mate. If your opponents are not resigning like this is a fun little thing to do. And you can close your eyes. You can play with the blindfold set of pieces. You can pretty much do whatever you want. But yes, it will be made. This move cuts off the square. The king is currently here, and then this will be followed with queen d1 mate. Something tells me he's not going to play it. He does not want to get checkmated. Not sure what this individual is thinking. When was this account made? 2021. Okay, so he's chill. Make the move, bro. Dang, bro stalled out his clock. That's wild. That's insane. That's crazy, bro. That's wild. Come on, bro. Okay, I actually can't crop to save my life. I can't crop to save my life. That's crazy. So yeah, anyways, this was a Baltic defense, and the moment you see a bishop move out this early, odds are c4 is going to be a nice move, followed by maybe queen b3, maybe knight c3 ideas, along with another idea of fiend shattering the bishop, if you do enjoy the Catalan, which, I mean, I did want to do that, but he dropped the bishop back immediately and then went b5 and then freaking h5. This made the exact plan a little bit harder. It made it hard to choose between whether to go for material wins or checkmate wins, but I decided to go here. And I could have taken back, but I wanted to activate my bishop and develop it against a weak pawn. And he should not have gone here. He should have tried to go maybe e6 first and then get his he should have tried to get his knight like somewhere here, like for example. Okay. My bad. I'm not gonna edit that out. So yeah, this is what he should have tried to go for, in my opinion, because this makes my attack a little bit harder than it was. But he didn't do that. He allowed e6 and this, and I'm just curious as to if e6 is fire. And it is. It was the best move. And he went here. I feel like it was better to take with the bishop, because then this makes my attack a little bit harder than it would have been. But we each have our own opinions. And his opinion seemed to be worse, considering how that game went. Remember, I have stuff on my classes that I need to clean off because I can't see. What the frick? I am sorry. This game analysis is not going great. I had to sneeze. Now my glasses are dirty. I think you can put two together. You can put two and two together. I'm not gonna explain that to you, because that is just gross. Anyways, I'm sure you could hear it too. So, anyways, these double pawns are very common in openings like the Caro, with boop boop, d5 here, and then after bishop f5 there's this. And it's common in the thing when they go here. This isn't the best move. h5 is, and going back is also the best move. But if they go here, there's this, and if takes, then you trade off the light square defender. Boop boop, and now it is +2, even though you're down a pawn. So +3.5 around that. Back to the game. It's the same pattern. You remove the light square defender either by cutting it off or capturing it if it takes, and then you have these two double d pawns, of which this bishop will be completely useless because you can't move the g pawn either. And I went here. I didn't go here immediately, because then this is it's just a one move threat. It's an unstoppable one move threat, but he can go here, and that is what I didn't want to deal with. Like, I didn't want to deal with this. So I decided to go here first, so that this square is not available for his bishop to get into the game again. He went here. Doesn't really matter exactly what you do, just as long as you get your king off the rank. And we decided to fork him and take the rook, because that was the simplest path of continuation. He took our pawn, and I went rook c1, because I was seeing that the rook and the bishop are lining up over here. And I castled because, first of all, this knight's hanging, and for example, knight e2 or something like that. Actually, this is better, because now there's no check. And so the reason why I didn't take the knight is because I wanted the queen to patrol this diagonal so that I can have some attacks on the king. And so I just decided to castle, and if he takes, I went here. The reason why I went here is just so that the queen didn't take me. I didn't want any material gains for my opponent. They went back, and it is mate in 7, and I knew it probably was mate, but I mean, I can't find it personally, especially given that I only had 4 minutes to find it. So we just chose the path that won the queen because we check. They can't go here because my bishop guards the rook. Remember that. This is a double check, so they can't take my knight. And once they go here, my rook is handing with this discovered attack on the rook. Forces that, and then I just grabbed the knight, and then I just went back, traded the knights. I just gave away the rook because I knew that the other two pieces were completely useless. And then we had a little bit of a disrespect moment here, and then Bro didn't play the final move. That is checkmate. Queen d1 mate. Boop. 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 That's mate. And the queen is obviously attacking the king. That is it. See ya.